are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Welcome to the Coach and Coach podcast. I am your defensive coordinator. I'm the one to make sure that y'all don't go crazy, making sure that we keep everything in order and in line. My job is to give the ball back to the offense. So my job is to make sure that you don't build us up and make sure that you don't tear us down. I'm the defensive coordinator. I am what they call Coach Marks. And then what we got over there to the left of me is the offensive coordinator. They say defense win championships, but they say offense put butts in the seats. Coach Harry, I need you to put butts in the seats, man, because if you got the people here, then we're going to be all right. So we are here tonight once again for the second episode of Coach and Coach podcast. Man, what's going on tonight?
Man, it's Friday Eve. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm glad to be here with you to do that. And I thought about this today. Tell me if I'm wrong, because maybe I dreamt this, but did Bruce not have a radio station, 94.5?
Yes, they used to come to games.
And they went to games. And
Yes,
I just remember as a kid getting in the car, vehicle, whatever, with my dad, and we would listen to that, and it was a legit pregame show and then game coverage, wherever we went. So I'm hoping that, we're going to touch on high school football, college, and NFL. I'm hoping that as people get in their cars, if they don't get the chance to listen tonight, they have something to get in their car, wherever they're going across the state tomorrow, and have some sort of pregame show. And I think that's really cool. So I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah, we're back. We're back. Hey, if you was too tired tonight and you didn't want to stay up all night with us and stay up to 8 o'clock, then all I ask you to do is go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, go to Amazon, or whatever you listen to, whatever podcast you listen to. And I want you to type in Coach and Coach podcast. You might have to put our names in there, but if you put our name in there, you're going to see a green little screen pop up with my great face, with my gray beard, and you're going to see him with a black beard. I don't understand what happened with that. Maybe he's not gray yet, but what we want you to do is subscribe to our podcast. Subscribe to it, and then also set your notification. That way you won't miss a show. So if you couldn't stay up tonight, it's 8 o'clock. I get it, man. You tired. You got to get up and go to work in the morning. But while you're on your way to work tomorrow, you can listen to the podcast. While you're on your way to the game tomorrow, you can listen to the podcast. Or if you're just hanging out, listen to the podcast. So do us a favor and go to your whatever platform you use to listen to your podcast. Go look up Coach and Coach podcast, and then I want you to click on the subscribe button and then set your notification. That way, anytime there's a show that come on, it's going to come to you first. So don't be left out. Coach, we got a lot to talk about tonight, and we don't have none but a little time to talk about it. But we do appreciate everybody. First of all, the love was overwhelming after our first show.
It was.
I'm not going to say I was shocked, but just to hear people in the community come up to you and was talking about the show, and you really don't realize what type of effect that it has. But it was once when I was walking out of Subway, and it was a lady that come up to me, and she said, "Man, I sure enjoyed y'all's show last night." And I was like, "What?" And just to hear that, I knew then, man, we got to roll with it. So we've been putting in some work. But I do want to show the people this, man. Just let you know, heart of a champion, man. People don't know what you went through today, man. Well, let's just pull up this screen. Let's pull up this picture right here. That is the offensive coordinator at the hospital today, man.
Had a rough few days. Yeah.
But you toughed it out, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. As long as I'm sitting in a chair, I think I'm fine. So
you toughed it out, man. You left the ER and you came straight to your post. So, hey, you get the Heart of a Champion award today, man. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. I hit the laughter button. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to hit the pause button because you put in the work today, man. So, hey, let's get into this thing tonight, man. We got a lot to talk about. For those that make sure that you join our YouTube page. Now, you was telling me that there's some difficulty finding us. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link of our YouTube page. I'm probably going to do it after the show. We're going to eventually get us a producer to do this stuff while we're going. But I don't want to hit the wrong buttons. I get over here to get the hitting buttons, and then I'll mess something up. But I'm going to put the link to our YouTube page on my personal page, and I'm also going to put it on the Coaching Coach page on Facebook. So if you're looking for us, because pretty soon we're going to navigate to YouTube Live. So we want to make sure that you don't miss out on the live shows for those who just want to follow us live as well. But we truly appreciate everybody, man. And I'm telling you, I feel like, and as you can see behind me, man, that's one of the best number 36s that ever came through Bruce High School. I don't care what Tim Armstrong say. Don't pay attention to nothing he said. I wore that 36 well. I didn't score nothing but one touchdown, but you know what? I scored, man. So that's the only thing that mattered. Who cares? It was only in 8th grade. I scored one time. So that's the only thing that mattered, Benji. Everybody always talking about when you scored. It's about I scored, man.
Well, score is a score. They're all 7 points.
They all said, well, no, I don't think we got 2
There's
points.
6 points, and then,
got 6. But you know what? Back then, we had special teams in junior high.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really did special team, man. We did kickoff, we did kick return, we did punt return, and we did extra points. So, hey,
I think that's something that should be.
To that.
I think that's something that really should be thought about being brought back because, you probably look at injuries. They probably happen more on your special team plays. I know there's been a big effort in NFL to make that safer. So you can teach that at a young age to be safe. And then also the fundamentals. I've seen some bad special teams in my fan of high school football. So
I was impressed with Vardaman. Vardaman did kick extra points in junior high on Tuesday night. So I was impressed with that they was even taking the opportunity to do something like that. So I do believe if we can bring that thing back, then you can start getting kids more prepared for what you run into like on kickoff return, man. I know we don't do the same things we did when we played. You can't build a wall anymore. You can't crack back on people, but still, and you don't have wedge busters anymore, but still is something that they need to learn, and I would rather them learn it now than to learn it later.
Absolutely.
All right, man, let's get into the high school scene tonight, man. We got a lot of games. Matter of fact, I think Water Valley and Eupora is playing currently. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Good friend in Water Valley, Dr. Kenneth Rogers, he's at the game and he's running it live. So I'm going to go back and forth to see what he got going on and see if Water Valley can pull it off, because I know Eupora looked very good against us, but that was a practice game. So you never know. You never know what somebody got, but they are playing on tonight. Just to run down a couple of games. I know you had a couple of games that we want to look at, but I want to look at a couple of games that spark interest in our area on tomorrow night. We got Hollandale Simmons will be at Port Gibson. Somebody might be saying, well, why are you worried about Hollandale Simmons? Well, because Hollandale Simmons in 1A. And if anybody going to challenge Calhoun City, is going to be them. We got Lafayette, who is 1-2. They'll be at Lewisburg tomorrow, who is 2-1. We got Clarksdale, who's 3-0, will be at South Panola, 1-2. We got 0-3 Winona versus 0-3 Houston. Now, when's the last time both teams were 0-3?
Like
Do you ever recall or even remember something like that?
I'd have to look back on that because that's been, traditionally good programs, but even recently, Houston's had a lot of success and Division I players go through there. It's kind of surprising to see them 0-3 at this point.
You got 1-2 Okolona will be at 0-2-1. Now, going to have to help me out with that. I didn't know we were still doing ties in high school, but South Pontotoc is 0-2-1. You got West Tally, who's 3-0, who will be traveling to Charleston, who is 1-1. We got Corinth, who is 2-1, will be going to Pontotoc, who is 2-0. We got Hamilton, and we got some news on Hamilton tonight, but Hamilton is 2-1. They will be going to 0-3 East Union on tomorrow. We got our good buddy, Coach Warren at Alcorn Central. He's 1-2. He'll be going to Walnut tomorrow, who is also 1-2. We got Riverside, who's 0-3. They will be going to J.Z. George, who is 1-2. Rosa is 1-0. They'll be going to Palmer, who is 0-3. And then we got the A game. You got Amory 1-2, who will be traveling to Aberdeen, who is 2-1. And then you got the big one in Oxford, Mississippi. And I'm not talking about Tulane coming to Ole Miss. We're talking about 3-0 Tupelo. Number 1, Tupelo is coming to take on number 18, 3-0 Oxford. And you also got number 6, Louisville, 2-1, who will be going to number 20, Starkville, who is 2-1. You got number 7, Madison Central, who is 1-2, will be visiting number 17 Northwest Rankin, who is 2-1, and you got number 3 Grenada. We're going to Cleveland Central, 2-1. Now, before we get into these games, and I know y'all might have said, well, you bypassed the local games. Well, we're going to go deep into the local game. But some news we got today out of the Daily Journal is that the head coach at Hamilton stepped down. And when you look at those situations like that, man, when you in the middle of a season, football is a different beast. I know here at Bruce, we had an interim baseball coach at one point, and Dallas Hill did an amazing job because we got all the way to the third round. But tell the people when you make a change in football, it's just a little bit different.
It is, and I think, well, like when you go back to the interim baseball thing, I think that was kind of a breath of fresh air where the pressure's off and you just go play. With this, I mean, we said Hamilton was 3-0, right? I just feel like that's
Well, they're 2-1.
they're 2-1.
And also, that's the division that we will match up with in first round of the playoffs.
Right. But I think that when you're 2-1, you got to win the record, you got some momentum, and then you just lose everything like that. You lose your head coach. I wouldn't see it as a positive. I think, that kind of might create some doubt in some guys' minds. You hope the best for the kids. They're kids. You just never know. But I don't see that being a net positive for them.
And then when you look at their division, man, their division is Baldwin, Hatley, and Walnut. Like they are, primed to win the division. So
Yes.
when you look at a situation like that where a head coach has to step down in the middle of the season, they did not disclose why. We don't know. We can everybody can speculate, but don't nobody know why. And when they don't publish it, then I have learned to not speculate anything. But Hamilton is probably going to win that division. So now they're going to have to do that with an interim coach.
Yeah, and then you have to have the chance to go to 3-1 tomorrow, and now you've gave East Union life. They can come in saying, "Hey, we got a chance, extra motivation." So, I just think that's a bad deal, just in the middle of the season like that.
Yeah, especially, and all it had was for personal reasons, and like I said, we don't want to speculate nothing. We don't know why somebody have to step down from a situation. You never know what people are going through or what they're dealing with in their life. But we do wish those kids because that's tough on the kid. Because the thing is, no matter what, no matter how the kids irritate us sometimes and drive us crazy, we both been on that end. The kids genuinely love their coaches. Whether they like their coaches, that's a different story. But when something like that happens, it does have an effect.
Yeah, it ain't got to be I like you all the time, but I always love you. And kids are kids, and they deserve the best opportunity every time they go out to be successful. So good luck to them.
All righty. Well, hey, let's get into what everybody want to hear. Bruce travels to Coffeyville tomorrow. And Bruce got an opportunity to do something. We talked about it earlier, man. Bruce got an opportunity to do something that has not been done since 2004.
Yeah, they can get to 4-0. And I believe that, we are taking this 1 week at a time, but I believe that 04 team rattled off 8 or 9. So we'll be following them. They'll be chasing them for a while, but you got a chance to get to 4-0 against a team that I would have to go back and look at record recently, but I think if I looked online, it's a 20-something and 1 all time over Coffeyville. So Bruce has had the upper hand, or at least on reported games. That's what I saw. So Bruce has had the upper hand over time, and you got to feel good coming off a road win where you faced adversity to go try to get to 4-0.
Well, just off the top of my head, I know when Coach Jackson was there, I believe in 14, they got us. They got us on that's the one that they got us on. I know in the early 90s, there was always a battle between Count City, Bruce Okolona, and Coffeyville. Those were the 14 bidding for 2 playoff spots, and there was always a battle. But we got a great opportunity tomorrow to do something special. It's been a long time where you can say do something special here at Bruce.
It has, and you're at the point now where people have to start. They can sit there and say schedule. I've seen comments where we need tougher competition. Well, at the end of the day, you're given a schedule. These kids don't make the schedule. They're given a schedule. They have to go out and they have to win games. And for the first 3 weeks, they've done it. And in week 4, they've done it. And I think that if they do it in week 4, they're going to have a chance to make some serious noise because they get to come back home after that for a few games, and you'll have all the momentum going into division play. So I think it's an important game. You need to go out and handle the business that's in front of you. And I think that I know we haven't went into schematics or anything yet, but things I've seen through the 2 Bruce games I've been through, schematically, looking at the schedule, there's just not a lot of teams that I don't like Bruce against.
Yeah.
So I feel, you got to feel good as a fan that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning with a feeling in your heart, stomach, whatever, that you can go win today. And that's something that, hasn't been there.
It haven't been. I have been a part of a few coaching staffs at Bruce. I was here in '99 and 2000, and I came back for 14 and 15, and then I returned for 20 through 22. And just the atmosphere, is different. And here's my theory on coaching. Here's my theory on schedules. One thing about a schedule, you don't know what's going to happen that night. I was listening to the little guard from Atlanta, Trae Young. I was listening to Trae Young talk the other day, and he was talking about how they dominated his junior year. That like they just walked junior year or senior year, they walked through everybody. And a team, he said they beat the team, the defending state champions in the semifinal game. And he said that was almost like the championship game. That kind of reminds me of '99 when we played Louisville. The Louisville game felt like the championship game. We was out of gas by the time we got to Boonville. But he said when they got to the championship game, a team that they had dominated ended up beating them for the state championship. So schedule or no schedule, you still got to get out there and play. And you don't know day to day injuries, different things could happen that could blow up your schedule. Last year, it wasn't like our schedule was dominant and was top notch, and we only married 3 wins. So that's why I'm kind of off of the schedule thing. I know sometimes, like I said, people will say that, and that's fine. That's your prerogative. You can go whatever route you can want to go with it. But when it's all said and done, the players got to go out there and execute these things. They got to make these plays. And we unsaw some upsets. We unsaw some games that shouldn't have been won. I was talking to a coach today. He was talking about when they went up to Nettleton. He said, "Coach, we were not supposed to win that game." He said, "We was too young. We just didn't have the experience, but the ball landed the way that it needed to land, and they got the job done." So when it comes to the schedule argument of it, I hear it and I don't hear it, because at the end of the day, you got to go out there and win ball games. You got to go out there and execute. And I tell you what, you turn over the ball, I don't care who you playing. You turn over the ball 5, 6, 7 times, then you'll be looking at a situation that you're not going to be able to get out of.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, you're giving these kids didn't make it. They're given the schedule. They see the games that they play. They go play. And to this point, they've won the games. And that's all you can do. So they're 3-0. And there's not many teams between. I think you could go back. I think I looked. There might have been. No, I'm wrong. You would definitely have to go back to 04 before you.
Yeah. That was the last, that was the last time we've started 4-0.
We've had a lot of 3-1 starts, and then we've had starts where we went 0-1, and then went on a run. But they will join a group. They will join a short list on 4-0 teams that have been 4-0 tomorrow night if they can go win.
You're looking at 21 years. 21 years since that happened. So, hey, you got a lot to be excited about. You know, regardless of you looking at somebody that came out of the '90s, and you know how dominant the '90s was. 1990, we lost in the third round to Amory. '91, we lost the state championship to Taylorsville. '92, we lost state championship to Philadelphia. '93, '94, we had winning records, but back then only two teams made it in. '95, we lost to North Half to Kansas City, 6-0. Only lost that season. '96, we won the state championship against Ackerman. In '97, we got to the third round, and no, '97 we got to the North Half. Even after the state championship, we got to the North Half. Even with a losing record in the regular season, we was 5-6. And Freddie Bullitt, he led us to the North Half, and we lost to Boonville in '98. We lost to Rouville in the third round, and then in '99, which was my first year coaching at Bruce, we lost the North Half to Boonville. So you know, seeing that and now to see some consistency, man, hey, I don't care if we loaded up Hucker's football team for the next 5 or 6 games. I don't care. It's time to win. It's time for us to get back into that, because you got to start somewhere. I mean, everybody want us to crank up a vehicle without a jump. If the battery's dead, I don't care how much you turn the key. All you're going to do is get clicking or nothing. Sometimes you need a jump start to get that battery going so you can crank that alternator to charge the battery back up.
Right.
But everybody is mad. Oh, the schedule's so weak and the schedule's so soft, and we'll just, the alternator burn out and the battery burn out, and then we'll wonder why the car won't go nowhere. And then we'll complain about the car not going anywhere. But just looking at some stats on the season, I was looking at some stuff today, and Joshua Long this year, he is 32 out of 66. Now, that is something that, you know, we don't take a lot of deep passes, and that will be a number that he will definitely need to improve on in the once we start division play. Right now, he's only throwing at 48%, and in high school, that number right there is not a good number. And they're not interceptions. They only have 2 interceptions on the season. And so his interception ratio is better than it was last year. But 32 out of 66, you know, we got to get that up.
Yeah, and I just like, you know, going back to what I said about, you know, we had to talk about schematics, but when I look at the schedule and things, the type of defenses you're going to see, I like the way our offense sets up with play action, with the RPO game, whether it be pre-snap. I couldn't tell. I thought we ran a post-snap. It looked like a post-snap decision. Could be wrong. But I like the way the offense sets up, and I think he is grown within it. And, you know, I expect to see those numbers improve.
Yeah. Right now, he's averaging 198 yards a game, which is decent. It's decent. You just imagine if he take that 48% and turn that into 60 and 70, then we're looking at something. He's averaging almost 3 touchdowns a game. So we are scoring. We're scoring we're getting the touchdowns. He's averaging basically 3 touchdowns a game. And like I said, you get that percentage of now that's keeping the ball. That's keeping the defense off the field. And that's the main thing is trying to keep that defense off the field. I was looking at receiving. I mean, Jermaine Jackson is running away with this thing. Right now in 3 games, he's averaging 116 yards a game. He is very close. If he keep this pace up, then we're going to have to pick Tyreek up and just slide him over. And we're going to have to introduce Jermaine Jackson to the 1,000-yard club. If he keep this up, if he keep this up right here at this pace, he will eclipse 1,000 yards this year.
And I don't see any reason why he can't. I mean, the ball seems to find him. I mean, I'd like to see his defensive stats. He's got to have more than 1 interception on the year. He's sure-handed. I don't know if I've seen. I'd like to know his target to drop, because he's got to have a really good percentage, and he can run away from you too. He's not just a guy that catches the ball and gets tackled. He has the ability to run away. Oh
yeah, he will bump his head on the goalpost. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he got 3 interceptions on the season. He's leading the team.
The ball seems to find his hands. I mean,
yeah. He's a true ball hog guy. He's a true ball hog, and he just once he get it, he know what to do with it. And like I said, if he keep running at this clip right here, then it's going to be all right. The big stat that I love to see is that we're averaging 238 yards a game rushing.
Oh yeah. If
And
you
it's
can run
spread
the
it
ball
out.
like that,
Yeah, and it's spread it out amongst three or four players, so it's not isolated into one area to where there ain't nobody else that you can go to, but it's he's spreading it out. So there's many people that, and then there's like we talked about Sunday. There's different versions of it. There's different versions that's getting the football and making something happen. I was defensively, Marcus Brownlee is leading the charge. He's averaging 12 tackles a game, and you want to guess who's second on the team? It's that young fella, that number 4 guy.
he's second on the
The
team in
number 4.
tackles.
He is averaging 9 tackles a game. So
Really?
they are really the recipe is nice. Bruce is setting himself up, and you know I'm a stats person. I love tendencies. I know a lot of people be like, well, it doesn't matter the stats. Yeah, the stats do matter. Because if you go back and look at some stuff that I was a part of, I guarantee the stats wasn't great. So, Coach, I'm gonna put you on a limb today. What would you say the final score will be tomorrow?
I would say 42-6 with a running clock. If the clock never ran, I say we'd score more, but I think they'll get to a running clock and we'll kind of get out of there.
All right. I think I told my class it was going to be 40. It was going to be about 44 to. I said it was going to get 12. I say that they're at the end. They get a couple of touchdowns when we pull our guys. So not. I feel like that if Bruce go and be Bruce, then they will dominate that game, and we will indeed be looking at a historic moment, 21 years in the making. So that's all we'll talk about on Bruce, because we're getting ready. Once we get close to that division play, then we'll be able to go more in depth with both teams. Coffeyville didn't have any stats, and just to let you know that we have been putting everything in SB Live for so long that now the state have changed to Max Prep. So all teams are required to put not only their scores but their stats in, and that's good news because it also helps recruiting. I mean, when you got kids and you got coaches, it's something about a coach that don't want to put in their stats. It irritates me because it ain't about you. Go ahead and put them stats in. People that's going to scout you anyway.
Right.
They're going to find out everything they need to find out about you. They're going to know everything they need to know about you. So you sitting on those stats and not putting that stuff out there, put that stuff out there so them kids can get the recognition that they're supposed to get. All right. Also, tomorrow night, you got Calhoun City going to Senatobia. Both 3-0 teams, and something got to give tomorrow night because Calhoun City is averaging 48 points a game and giving up 15. Senatobia is averaging 37 points a game and giving up 17. Coach, something got to give tomorrow.
Coach, I'm not trying to be like the county homer or anything, but I was sitting down today and I was like, if you had to pick this game, because I've been listening to some TikToks and YouTubes, no one is picking Calhoun City to win this game. And
Wow.
I kind of like Calhoun City because Calhoun City's always been like the ultimate, like, if you think you're going to disrespect us, we'll come in and shut it down quick. They got scheduled on they're the homecoming. I mean, you think they ain't got something to go in there and prove?
So somebody put Calhoun City for a homecoming.
I saw it on Facebook to get your tickets. It's a homecoming game. So I don't know, Coach. I'm not trying to be a homer, but I really think that pound for pound, I think Calhoun City can play with anyone. I don't care.
They match up perfectly.
I got
there
this
is
one.
no advantage. No, the only advantage that I can see somebody's given is that Senatobia is 3A. That's the only advantage that you can be giving them right now because pound for pound, they match up.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I got Calhoun City winning.
Well, they do have somebody that they're going to have to deal with, and one of the Achilles heel for Calhoun City is their run defense, and they're running into a running back that's averaging almost 200 yards a game. Now, one thing I know about Calhoun City's head coach is that he will scheme. I'm just talking. I've had many conversations with him, and he kind of reminds me, just on the surface, he reminds me of a Bill Belichick. I'm going to take away the best thing you do, and I'm
Right.
going to make you beat me somewhere else. I do not see this kid, Davion Watson. He's number 6 for Senatobia. I don't see him getting 200 yards. I don't see Coach Jennings allowing that to just because he is the type of coach that he's going to take away the best thing that you do. He's going to focus on your best thing, and he's going to say, okay, you're going to beat me somewhere else. If Senatobia win this ball game, I don't think this kid. I will be shocked if this kid gets up to that 180, 190 mark rushing tomorrow. Now, yes, he's averaging 12 yards a pop. He has 8 touchdowns on the season, but once again, I don't think there will be I think Winona was a good, not wake up call, but it was a good shock. They're like, okay, we got to get this run defense in order, because the main thing that happened last week is that Winona started running the football and they couldn't stop them.
Yeah, I talked to a guy who was on one of Coach Jennings' staffs, and he said that one of the things he took away from it was how to game plan, how to study film, how to view the game when you're looking at the tape. And I agree with you. I think he will find a way for that team he's going to make it to where that team will have to find a different way to beat him. He's not going to lose by them just turning around handing it off. So I think, especially on the high school level, when you take away something that works, it's harder to make adjustments on the high school level and find something that works. Your percentages come back to you a little bit and give you a chance. And I don't know. I feel good about them going in there tomorrow.
And then, I've had some situations where I've sat there and I've listened to him talk, and I've heard him talk about how a certain team specialized in this thing, and he found a way to take away what they do, and he was able to just basically make them one dimensional. And just to hear him talk, I know that he's going to have a plan for whatever Senatobia is going to bring to him. Here's an interesting stat with Calhoun City. And I had a conversation with him. I told him that be prepared, because you're gonna come on the show. You're gonna have to talk to us eventually. You're gonna have to talk to us. And I told him, Coach,
Yeah.
I told him, I said, you're gonna have to talk to us eventually. I said, I might wait till your bye week, but you're gonna have a conversation with us.
Right.
But I told him on today, I said, he got a running back. And Coach, I want you to listen to this stat. Every 3 carries this running back carries the football, he scores a touchdown.
Wow. That's some kind of trend right there.
that you can look at, say, somebody average. You could take somebody that may have scored 3 touchdowns in one game, and they played 3 games, and you can say, well, that stat is kind of skewed. He don't really average a touchdown a game. But when you look at carries and you see that every 3 carries, this kid is hitting his head on the goalpost, then I think the solution is simple: feed him the football.
Handing the football. Yeah, absolutely. Until the math don't math anymore, let's do some.
Prove to me that it don't work. But right now, every 3 carries, this kid, Bud Pittman, is averaging a touchdown on every 3 carry. The 3rd carry, he's taking that thing to the house. So that's a good problem to have. That's a good stat to have. And I would be interested at the end of the year. I want to see what that ratio be at the end of the year.
Yeah, we need to write that one down.
So we're gonna keep up with that. So I'm with you on that. I feel like Calhoun City is going to win. I feel like I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game.
I don't see that.
I think their defenses are going to really. I see Calhoun City winning this game 22-17. I got Calhoun City 22-17 over Senatobia.
I was going to say 2016, something in there like that.
2016. So we on the
I think
same
it's
page
going to
with that.
be one of those games that when you think of like the smaller school in Mississippi slobber knocker game, like it's just got that kind of feeling to it. Like it's going to be a physical brawl out there.
And the reason why I say the score's not going to be big because both teams. Um, I'm looking at the stat. Senatobia, they don't throw the ball much. They have 17 attempts in 3 games. Cal City only have 29 attempts in 3 games. They're going to run the football, and when you run the football, the clock going to run. So that's going to keep the game low scoring. But I feel like Cal City will come out victorious at the end, and I don't believe so. It's 2 takes I got on that. I say the kid is not going to hit for 200 yards, and I feel like Cal City is going to take that win.
Well, I think that could be another upper hand then for Calhoun City because I looked at so many games on Max Prep. I may be missing this completely, but you're saying only 29 attempts on the year. It looked like the passing game, though, when you did the side by side stats per game, it looked like Calhoun City's passing game had been more efficient over 3 games than, or am I thinking of a different game?
Well, they're 17 for 29. They've used 3 different quarterbacks, but the main quarterback is Harlan Pittman. He is 12 of 21. Senatobia is clearly just they're not throwing the football. They're only 11 for 17. I think they throw the. If I had to go back, I bet these 17 attempts all came on 3rd down and 4th down.
Right.
I don't believe they're throwing the football on 1st and 2nd down. So yes, Cal City is throwing it at a higher clip, but I think a majority of those throws, I saw a lot of throws when I went to the Coffeyville game when they played Coffeyville. You know, in those situations, you're trying to fill out what you can and cannot do, and I think a lot of his throws came during that Coffeyville game. So I don't think they really want to put that ball in the air and put it in harm's way. But even in that, they do have 3 touchdown passes on the year, where and Senatobia have 2. So they basically the same. They are running football. They are. This is going to be in this day and age. This is going to be a boring game. So if you don't truly like football and you just want to see scoring, do not go to that game.
Don't put it like that now, Coach, because there is something beautiful about some good defense being played.
Yeah, for us,
physical running and some good defense. Sometimes you just got to see it. Like it's just you need it.
We love it, man. We love it. I want to see that knockout. But man, the fans want to see. They want to see the score. And they want to see you air this ball out, man. They want to see all that good stuff. So I just want to win. Do what you got to do to win.
Right.
We got one more team to cover in the county. We got Vardaman. They will be hosting Myrtle tomorrow. And the reason why that is important to us because Myrtle is in our division. Just looking at some stuff, Vardaman has only scored 47 points in 3 games, but they've given up 122 points. That right there is a recipe for 1 and 2. And if you don't get that fixed, that will be a recipe for 1 and 3. So just looking at some of the numbers that they have, one of their main issues, they got 3 lost fumbles on the season and 4 interceptions. That's 7 turnovers. You cannot win football games with that many turnovers, and they're gonna have to clean up the turnover issue. 3 interceptions on 11 passes is not a good. That's not a good. That's not a good equation. The quarterback on the season, he's 5 of 11, and out of the 6 that he has thrown incomplete, 3 have landed to the other team.
So what you're saying is the ball don't get dropped very often.
Yeah, somebody's catching it.
Somebody's catching it.
Yeah, but it's just sometimes it ain't the right team.
Yeah.
But I think their running back should be back this week. A lot of people don't understand the new ejection rule. When you get ejected in MHSAA games now, that is an automatic 2-game suspension in high school football.
Wow.
You don't if you get ejected in the first quarter, You just gone for that game, and you will be gone for the next 2 games. It's no longer you come back at a certain quarter. They went over that at the clinic this year, and they also went over it again. And it's even worse. Well, it's 2 weeks in basketball and baseball, but obviously because they play more games. But if you get ejected in a high school football game, you will be gone for 2 games.
Wow. Yeah. Gotta keep your head on straight and do right. Just gotta bite your tongue, keep your head down, and go on to the next play.
And it also it's kind of scary because it really gives referees. I mean, they already got power, but it's almost turning into absolute power. That's scary to have somebody, to give somebody that much power that they can change your whole season.
Yeah, you would hope that a referee. I saw this when we were standing at the game the other night, where they sent a guy out from each side the other night at Faulkner for a play or two. Like, hey, go figure this out because you know what's coming if you don't. And you're hoping that referees would have some courtesy and be like, hey, let's just get them off the field. Let's not go straight to this because I mean it's a game of passion and emotion and things happen.
Violent game.
Yeah.
You're gonna have pushing. You're gonna have fighting. You're gonna have cussing. You're gonna have all of it. It's a violent game.
Yeah.
So why are we so shocked that they act violently in a violent game?
Yeah.
And then when you compound that with the emotion of possibly losing the game and people talking, then yeah. But those are your more experienced referees.
And how many times coach? Which I mean, I haven't coached at every school in America and seen every crew in America, but I've seen so many crews when I did though that would not get ahead of it and say, you know what, that's a little over the line. Let's get a 15-yard penalty here. There would just nothing be done about it till the powder keg blew, and then you were just at whatever happens then. You've been trying to tell them, like, hey, if y'all flag this, get ahead of this.
Exactly.
And there's been so many times we never saw that. So I'm kind of with you. I hope we don't see. I hope that's not the case, that someone's getting taken advantage of and like a power grab or something.
Because I mean, we've been on the sideline. We've told referees, hey man, you got to get control of this. He's grabbing his face mask. They doing this, they doing that, and they totally ignore. And then they'll wait to the fourth quarter. And now I've had enough, coach. And now you want to toss the kid when you've been trying the whole game to try to get them to understand that we're trying to keep it from getting to this point.
Yep, seen it too many times.
Well, coach, unless anything else you want to touch on the high school level, my man.
I would really, if I could be in two places at once, I'd really like to see Tupelo and Oxford. I'd like to see Oxford's. They established the run well and they throw it too. But when you talk about a team that's going to run the ball and they're going to play pretty defense, it's Tupelo, and I really hope that at some point this year I see them in person. So,
and then
they won a game. I'm pretty sure
we got a former player on the staff, man.
Oh yeah.
Tyler Turner. I call him Jackie Moon.
So I need to get up there and see him too. Then, so it would have been a good one to get to, and I think they'll have a good battle tomorrow.
Hopefully, they have a Thursday night game, and we'll be able to get up there. I know we got a couple of Thursday night games, so I know if we play on Thursday, I might try to get up there and get one of those games. On last week, there was something that happened last week that was I wish I had the video on it, but there was a kid from Poplarville, Ty Keys. He rushed for 506 yards on 17 carries, 8 touchdowns.
That's correct.
506 yards. But here's the crazy stat about that. That's not the record.
I saw that.
The record is held by a kid from Mantachie, Jaylee Adams. He had 543 yards rushing in 2015.
Wow.
Now, I thought Noah Ingram, who played at Rouville, and let me tell you about Rouville. We played Rouville in '99 in the third round of the playoffs, and we watched film on Rouville. And I'm not being sarcastic. This is what we saw on film. We saw Rouville catch a punt at the 20 or 30-yard line, run back to the 1-yard line and take a knee. We saw that at a game, coach. As we looking at film, we saw that. And basically they would give it to Noah Ingram, 99 yards, he's gone.
Wow.
They did that pretty much the whole season. Now, I do believe he holds the record for total yards in a season. Um, he had 3,411 yards rushing. I think he had that in either 99 or 2000. But he held the record before Jaylen Adams broke it from him. He held the record with 506 yards rushing. He did that either in 99 or, but when we saw the video, I remember Coach Ferguson. We were sitting there, and as coaches, and you see something like that, it kind of like, man, you're cheating the game right now.
Yeah.
And we all got a little ticked off. We're like, yeah. But coach, when we got into that game, Noah Ingram was a grown man. He was the real deal. I don't care how mad we got about what he done. He was the real deal. But all it took in the second half, and I was so I have to give Ruleville the what the heck bonehead play of the day on that one. They started throwing the football, and they forgot we had a maniac by the number 56 named Roman Moore. And once he hit that quarterback, it started. Football once momentum swing. Man, we was down 14-0 at halftime against, I would say, the best team. I thought the best team in the state area in 2A. I really felt like that if we don't beat them, they go on to win the state championship.
Right.
So, so that right there is, and there was also a game that Noah Ingram he rushed for 480 yards where they beat Chula Marshall 90-0.
Wow.
I think that was the film that we had. I was like, come on now. 90-0.
My time. I don't have any recollection. That's way before my time.
Yeah, you was a little youngster then, man. That's why I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you into the 90s.
I'm a 94 baby, so I missed out on a lot.
There's one more thing I want to talk about on the high school level, and it has not been finalized. It's just been proposed, but my sources tell me that they are looking to. We redistrict every 2 years. They are looking to extend that to make that every 3 years. How do you feel?
What's the reasoning?
Scheduling is the main reason that they're talking about, but I'm trying to figure out. I don't know when I hear stuff like this. The first thing I always go to is, what school is needing this advantage to stay in this certain division a certain time? Because I don't know what a third year would do opposed to a second year.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just thought about it from a standpoint of your non-division games are scheduled on a 2-year basis, and so if you're going to have to lock in those games for a third year, someone's not getting someone's missing out on extra, someone's getting extra home game, someone's getting extra road trip. And, and
you're not going to get that game back.
You're not, because then you could turn around depending on the draw you get with your division, which a lot of times, for the most part, some of that stays the same. And then say you don't draw a home game there, and then you lost another home game somewhere. To me, if it was me, I would be, wanting every home game to start because that's guaranteeing me too. And there's going to be an argument over that. So,
and you know what? I didn't look at it like that. But now that you say that does make a lot of sense because if I'm not mistaken, we go to Myrtle this year, right?
Right.
I'm thinking we go. So that means if this go through, that's going to have us going to Myrtle twice.
Yep.
For division games and having Myrtle only come to us once, opposed to a home and home.
Yeah, and what are the actual odds Myrtle's in it again down the road? Like, you're not getting that home game back probably. It changes up so much. I've seen that division geographically all over northeast Mississippi. It's never. Some years it's made sense geographically. You ain't driving too far, and in some years it's like you're driving for a playoff game. So
it's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see if it go through, and just trying to get the methodology behind it. But that is us for the high school. We hope that we covered everything that we need to cover on high schools. Anything else we need to hit on the high school level?
I think we did pretty good there.
Well, hey, it's time for some SEC football. Um, I'm going to run down these. The schedule, and I'm going to also give you the line, and we'll start talking about it. We got Arkansas going to Memphis, a 3-0 Memphis. Arkansas is a 7.5 point favorite. You got UAB visiting Tennessee. Tennessee is a 39.5 point favorite. Auburn, which is probably the only game in the SEC that's supposed to be competitive. Auburn will be traveling to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 6.5 point favorite. Tulane will be coming to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is an 11.5 point favorite. Northern Illinois will be traveling to Mississippi State. Mississippi State is a 21.5 point favorite. South Carolina is going to Missouri, and which should have been a big game, but South Carolina, they forgot to hold their end of the bargain. Missouri is an 11.5 point favorite. Florida is going to Miami. Miami is a 7.5 point favorite. Georgia State is going to the red hot Vanderbilt Commodores. The Commodores are a 27.5 point favorite. As of yesterday, the Southeastern Louisiana and LSU don't have a total yet, but if I had to guess, they probably a 30+ point favorite. And Sam Houston will be traveling to Texas, and Texas is a 40.5 point favorite. First of all, let's start with our school, Ole Miss and Tulane. Now, Tulane have given us trouble, I think, every time we played them, and I don't see nothing different now.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tall task at hand from trench warfare standpoint. I think that offensive line's going to have to prove some things, and I think their offensive line's going to give our defensive line and backers some fits. I kind of worry about the backer play with the way they run their offense, but I will say if you feel good about anything, I think you've played a really good quarterback last week, and I do not think this guy is as good as Taylor Green. So um, Tulane
Well,
has do what?
News out of Oxford is that Austin Simmons will be dressing out and be under center on Saturday. Now, you saw it and I saw it. After a week, do you think Austin Simmons is 100%, or is it worth it?
Nah, it's just the ruse of the century, coach. He's fine. Nah, I'm kidding. I really don't know because just looking at it live last week, you're like, I don't know how, but Kiffin stated all week last week that Simmons would be available. He wasn't starting, but he'd be available, and he was telling the truth. Monday, Kiffin came in and said he expected Simmons to start, and now he's listed as a starter. So I'm assuming he's good to go if that's the case.
I hope he's right because what we saw last week, it did not look good. I mean, even the little bit that he played, he limped the rest of the way. I was looking at the quarter. I was looking at I can't even pronounce his name. Quarterback for Tulane. He's leading the team in rushing. He's averaging 7.2 yards a game. I don't think airing it out is their specialty. I think they're going to try to run the football. And I think we're going to get another healthy dose of the read option again. And I still think that's a problem for us, regardless of how great the quarterback is. We have not been doing a good job as far as the read option per se. I think now just straight running the football, and I think we've done a great job against the zone read. Just straight up handing off the football, I think we did a good job at. I still think we got issues with controlling that quarterback if he pulls that football.
Yeah, and I don't think it's on like schematically everything looks pretty good. I just think we're just not executing on it. I think you're seeing like over aggression on how they are getting upfield on that zone or overplaying it. I saw some overplaying on like your power read where that quarterback pulls it and inserts um, or even on the counter read. I just to me it looked like some non-execution things last week more than anything. It didn't look like they had more talent than us or that the plan wasn't good. It just looks like we're not executing.
And you know, the SEC is a copycat league. So once they see you struggle in one area, then everybody's just going to make that their game plan. Everybody's that's going to be everybody's MO. Whoever we play, they're going to, you know, I've saw this in many years with Ole Miss is once we show we can't stop something, we see it continuously week after week. And with and what is it? Next week we got LSU coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
So this you got to handle business this week because that game is going to be a different game. So,
oh yeah, game day will be here next week if they pull this one Saturday.
Well, somebody need to give us some tickets then.
Yeah, somebody hook us up.
Hey, coach and coach, hey, shouldn't we get a press pass now?
That's what I'm thinking. We need to be credentialed media.
Yes. Hey, somebody look that up because I think we are press now. Yeah. We are part of the media team. And we need footage. We need content for our platform. So hey, those of you out there, somebody make the call to Keith Carter and tell him, or whoever his workers are, tell him that Coach and Coach podcast need media credentials. And we need to be on the field because we need to see what's going on. In order for us to do our job effectively and efficiently, we need to be on the field.
Yeah, with unlimited access to
exactly, man. I mean, matter of fact, I want to be a part of the press conference. We're media now, man.
Yeah, and we'll go anywhere. It don't just have to be Ole Miss. I'll take off and use my press pass just to go watch a baseball game or something. MLB we'll travel around.
Give us our press pass. Come on, guys. Come on now. Don't hold us back. Help us help you.
Right.
Help us. Listeners, people that's listening in the chat, people that's listening on the podcast, help us help you. Get us into these places so we can bring you the information. That way you don't have to worry about it. We'll have everything that you need. You just got to trust that we get there. We also, South Carolina, Missouri. I'm pretty sure when they looked at this game on the schedule before the season started that this was going to be a big game. Is it time to bury South Carolina now, or is it just we're reacting too quick?
I don't think it's too late because I just have not, from week one against Virginia Tech to now, I mean, I've just not been impressed with them. I think they have trouble offensively getting separation and getting open for explosive plays in the passing game. I think that if they can't run it on the edge, they're not a very good running team either. They look like a 7-5, 6-16 to me.
So who is the biggest disappointment this year, Florida or South Carolina? So far.
Well, it's definitely got to be. Yeah, I would say it's got to be South Carolina because they got torched on defense too. When you look at Florida's defense, I mean, it's not like they're getting, like when you look at Florida's losses, you're like, why can't you stop getting unsportsmanlike penalties and turning the ball over? Like if you could just stop doing those things, you're in these games. Like when you look at like the LSU game, for example, you only lost by 10 points. You turned the ball over 5 times. You only gave up 3 points 10 points on defense. The other 10 points came off turnovers to LSU. So I mean, they're both disappointing, but I would say South Carolina's more disappointing.
So when you look at that, and then as we look at Auburn and Oklahoma, Hugh Freeze got Auburn 3-0. They're ranked 22nd in the nation, but they got to go to Oklahoma, and I'm not buying the 3-0. I'm not buying it. Auburn does not look dominant. They don't look like I come up in the era of the Ronnie Browns and the Cadillac Williams and the Cam Newton days, and that Cam is the reason why I despise those gray uniforms from Ole Miss. I'm glad they threw them away because we never had good success in those uniforms, and we definitely didn't have success that day. I'm not buying the 3-0 Auburn team. I think they're a mirage. I think they are pulling our leg right now.
No, I think they're better than the 2 previous 3 seasons, but I don't think they're there yet. They've got to show me something in the passing game. I think that they run the ball well, and they Jackson Arnold does some good things for them, but I don't think those are the other team tries too. I do think Oklahoma's really good defensively, and I don't think they're going to force them to do more than they've done in the previous 3 weeks to win the game. And for that reason, I'm not high on Auburn, but um, I think they're improved. They could win. I think they're a team that could get to 8.
So are you sold on the Mississippi State? Mississippi State is scary now because one thing you don't want to give a dead dog is life, and they got life now.
Yeah, and I think you have to give credit to Levy for it's not a team that could go out and buy everybody up in the portal. It's not a team that could, win a bunch of national high school recruiting battles and spend a ton of money on kids that could have to sit on the bench to develop. They've gone out and got pieces that make sense for them, and they're making the most out of it. And I, I mean, I don't think it's even close that they're going to be the most improved team in the league from year to year. And I don't
And
think
it's painful. It's painful for me to admit it, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, just seeing them, the Arizona State game, that was big. That was big.
now I do think Arizona State is not what we thought. I think if you want to go into like the Big
I
12
thought that
this
was better than Mississippi State, though. I thought
I
there was two
just
touchdowns better than Mississippi State.
I don't know, Coach. The way the build up to that game was, I was like, I just feel like sometimes you walk into a stadium and you're just going to take you walked into a hornet's nest and you're going to lose, and that's what that felt like. Like they walked in there, they were talking about we had these bales at practice all week, and they walked in there and it wasn't anything
Shell shock, a
like they
culture shock on them.
the tough thing for State is that they still have to play in this league, and I think they have one of the harder schedules in the conference. So, I do think they're improved. Like, what does that mean? I could paint a picture where they finish 4-8, and I can paint a picture where they finish 8-4.
Mm.
So it's a tough league, but there's no doubt that they're much improved.
I'm gonna look at what Mississippi State's schedule is going to look like the rest of the year because I think they are a team that can be sneaky, spoiler scary. Because one thing about it, if you give a team some confidence and they build on that confidence, they can start wrecking some seasons. Okay, they got obviously Northern Illinois this week. Then they play Tennessee at home. They go to A&M. They go to Florida. They play Texas at home. They go to Arkansas. They play Georgia at home. They go to Missouri, and then they play Ole Miss at home.
They
I
play
looked at
Florida
that.
where?
They play Florida at Florida.
Man, that's a game you're
That's
like,
gonna
we
be tough.
got that game at home. Man, that's tough.
That's
Because
gonna be
I
tough
don't
because I
see
feel like
beating.
Florida figures it out by that time.
So let's go through it. If we're giving them a win on um
Obviously Saturday.
Saturday, that's 4-0, correct?
Florida.
So we got 4-1, 4-2, toss. Because who knows what Florida could be in 3 weeks?
I feel like at that point Florida will have it figured out. Um, I feel like they could. I feel like they could probably go to Arkansas. Well, that quarterback, man, he's dangerous.
But it's crazy, like as much improvement as you've seen with their offense, their state's defense has improved a ton. I don't know if they couldn't, but I get what you're saying. I do think that Taylor Green's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think personally, so that's tough. But I think that's a toss game. I don't think that's the point though. When you talk about much improved, as last year we just went through and said loss, 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 loss,
Yeah,
loss,
yeah.
and now we're at least having the conversation where I'm like, you're having to talk me into saying loss. Like I just can't, I can't say that with them, and
But
that's improvement.
what I don't like about this schedule is that they front loaded it. You play your first four out of conference game right off the bat, and you finish up the year with SEC every week.
Well, you saw
This
how it worked for Ole Miss last year. They went to
this league is difficult, and to look at SEC competition for 8 straight weeks or 8 straight games, rather, that is difficult, man. And I tell you, they are not doing themselves any favors with that. But I do see that there's a possibility, like you said, they could go. And the 2 games that they got to get it on the road. They have to get Florida, and they will have to get Arkansas.
that's a
I
tough
feel
schedule.
like, yeah, and that's and even that gets you bowl eligible. That gets you bowl eligible. So you
And you
got
would
to win
take that.
2 out of the 8.
And then, the Egg Bowl's always weird. Like, I don't even want to talk
Yeah,
about it.
it doesn't. It doesn't matter what nobody got going on. The Egg Bowl will be the Egg Bowl. Well, let's run down the top 25 real quick, and we got Texas Tech will be at Utah. Utah is a 3.5 point favorite.
I like
We got
Tech.
Oregon. Say that again.
I like Tech. I
You
really
like
like.
taking that game?
Yeah, from what I've seen,
So
man.
you hear that? Take the points, y'all.
Yeah.
Take the
you probably
points.
you probably right. But nah, I really like Texas Tech. I think that they're about to set up. I do think whoever wins this game is your favorite for the Big 12,
Big
and
12, yeah.
it ain't even close.
Speaking of Big 12, before we go on, Colorado, does this prove either how good Shador and Travis is or how bad Dion may be as a coach?
Um, I think it could be both. I think two things can be true at once.
Now,
But
I do give him the benefit of the doubt because him dealing with what he has dealt with in the offseason and you trying to, your life is on the line.
yeah,
Man, football is beside the point at that point. And I do give him the benefit of the doubt on that, but you have, these NFL players on your staff. I mean, you got, if I'm not mistaken, Byron Leftwich is on the staff. You got Warren Sapp. You got Marshall Falk. Your offensive coordinator is an NFL coach, and
because
they're not producing.
we live in an era. Now, granted, you could say what you want about the Big 12, but we live in an era where the best
Yeah,
players, like if you're not going to go and dump, I would say in the Big 12, 10 millions to get you to 6-6, right?
yeah,
I mean, maybe depending on what your non-league games are. So if you're not willing to spend the money or don't have it to spend, I just think that that's the product you're going to get. And I don't know what their situation is, but
yeah.
my guess would be that they're probably thankful that the rev share deal is coming through to help that out for them in the future.
But I tell you what, I think it really shows how good Shador and Travis and Joe Horn and
But yeah,
all of those receivers really was.
I mean, just to think about that week one, that first year, that team went what 2-10, and then they come out
Yeah.
and beat TCU. I mean, they did some good things. It was a good squad. There's no doubt about that.
All right, I'm gonna keep running down real quick. We got Oregon State will be at Oregon, 34.5 point favorite Oregon.
Lay them,
You got,
lay them.
yeah, you got Michigan at Nebraska. That's going to be a big game, but they got Michigan as a 2.5 favorite. Take the points. I'm going to go with Nebraska on that one. Now, this is the one that has baffled me this week. You got Purdue at number 24 Notre Dame, who is 0-2. At what point,
That's
Coach,
why we
you
need
are 0-2? Why are you still ranked in the top 25?
That's why we need our press credentials coach so we can get votes for the AP and vote them on out of there. So
that is mind-boggling. I don't care. We're in a generation. It's what have you done for me now? I don't care that Notre Dame is on NBC or was on NBC. I don't care that Notre Dame was in the national championship last year. Notre Dame is 0-2, and they are still in the top 25. How is that possible?
The brand. That's probably all it is, the brand.
But this is why the NCAA, their credibility is shot, or the voters. This is exactly why, because Notre Dame has no business. 0-1, okay. I don't care how close the game was. You're 0-2. You are winless on the season. You're the only top 25 team with a losing record and no wins. You mean to tell me you got other teams? Let's see. Who else ranked in the top 25?
You know, Coach, just to think, like, don't even think about
USC is 3-0 and it's ranked 25. And Notre Dame is ranked 24 and they're 0-2. If I'm USC, I am going ballistic.
Well, you got to think about it like this too, Coach. It's not just that everybody agreed to vote them at 24. They take it. It's like your average. Like some people are going to vote you here, and then they find the median. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So that means someone's got them higher than, or multiple people have them higher than 24 on their ballot. They're probably ranked as high as like 13 in somebody's.
That is crazy, man. For Notre Dame has no business being in the top 25. I'm sorry. It's what it is. This is what blows my mind. This is why people don't trust the that's why we're gonna keep asking for 12 teams, and then we're gonna ask for 16 teams before it's all said and done. The football is gonna be just like basketball. It's gonna be 64 teams in there, and let's just go have it for 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, they've got to keep them where, because they are, they'll play a pretty competitive schedule. They've got to keep them where if they were to rattle 10 straight off, they can slide them right on in there because that's what they're going to do.
But Coach, the way I see that, though,
they will be
if you're 0-2 and out of the top 25, you run 10 straight, okay, let's go. Florida State, I would like to know what was Florida State initial ranking before the season. Florida State dominated in 2 games. Now they're ranked where they need to be at. I feel like Notre Dame earned their ranking.
I agree with you.
It's just seeing that, man, and it's so irritating. I hope Purdue pull an upset.
But they're just proving what, a lot of people have been saying and thinking for years, is that in the college football playoff era, the real rankings do not matter till that first CFP poll comes out. Whenever.
But you know what that does, though? That because they do factor in this AP, that keeps them hanging around where teams that deserve
it absolutely does. It absolutely does.
Teams that deserve it is not there getting to move up, because now all Notre Dame, like you just said, all they got to do is win a couple of games, and then they're just going to keep gradually, going up. And you take a team like USC, who's ranked number 25, and they mess around and lose a game. Let's say USC loses to Michigan State, which is a possibility. Let's say USC loses to Michigan State this weekend. They're out of the polls at 3-1. And if Notre Dame win, they will be 1-2 and probably move up to number 23 or 22 in the polls.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
So that's a strong possibility that could happen.
There's absolutely a possibility. Just for a storyline, I mean, they'll keep them, like we'll hear this week. Can they get in the win column when they do? Can they do this? There'll always be a storyline around Notre Dame. So,
boy, I tell you, just to have if your name is strong, you don't have to win alone. You got Temple. It's going to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a 23.5-point favorite. We got Illinois at Indiana. They got Indiana as a 5.5-point favorite. Do you?
I like
I'm
Illinois.
taking the points with Illinois.
I'm with you. Absolutely.
I feel like, and then I was shocked at the 5.5, 2.5, 3.5. I was like, okay, but 5.5, I didn't think 5.5 would be the thing. All right. We also, let's see, let's run them down. You got and you got Michigan State at USC. So college football we got a couple of games. It's not one of those Saturdays where you be like, hey man, let's lock and load, man. It's gonna be a great night tonight.
Outside of a few games.
So I mean, just a couple of games, and I'm always gonna lock in and watch Ole Miss, but other than that, man, it ain't a lot of big games going on. Anything else on the college level we need to run through, man? Boy, our time. I'm trying to stay within our time frame, man, because I know I see your eyes. You're getting sleepy.
Yeah, them bags.
You had a long day, brother. You had a long day. I tell you what, we're gonna run through let's run through the NFL games real quick. We won't go into detail. You got right now. You got Miami playing Buffalo, and at this moment.
Yeah, give me a score update on that.
At this moment, you got Miami's got the football and they're only down 7 points. So Miami, I'm not going to say they unfigured it out, but they
we done
playing better than they've been playing.
We talked about them last week, or we talked about them Sunday, and now they're going to prove us wrong.
and statistically, they played better last week. But Josh Allen.
Yeah.
When he get what he get, he's gonna get it. You got Atlanta will be at the Falcons this weekend. Green Bay will be at Cleveland. Houston will be at Jacksonville. Cincinnati will be without Joe Burrow for an extensive time. He had surgery on his toe. He had turf toe where they had to do surgery.
Man, he's had a tough go with some injuries, man.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because that they use that against them. They use that against them because and it's you can't argue, you can't fight it. It is what it is. That's a part of being in the game. You have to stay healthy too.
Yep.
And if you're not healthy, then you can't be among the elite. And he did lead them to that Super Bowl, and I think that have kept him there. But here in the last 3 or 4 seasons, and mainly not saying the turf toe is because of their offensive line, but Cincinnati offensive line is terrible. Yeah. And they've been terrible for a while, and they haven't done nothing to address it. They haven't done nothing in the draft. They haven't done nothing in free agency. They just went out there and just said, okay, we're gonna see, can he sling this ball to Chase? Can he sling this ball to T. Higgins? Can he sling the ball at the time? The other receiver that they had there, and didn't do nothing to protect him. And now you got Mixon, who has left, and the running back they have now, he's okay, but he's not Joe Mixon. So the injuries are piling up on him, and that's unfortunate. You got Pittsburgh going to New England. You got the Rams going to Philadelphia. The Jets, and I think Justin Fields will be out this week. He is under concussion protocol. And when you are a running quarterback, it's going to happen. The surprise Indianapolis coach will be at your Tennessee Titans.
They'll be 3-0.
So Danny Dimes, he's coming to Nashville to sing you a couple of country songs and leave there with a W.
And he's going to.
You got Las Vegas at Washington. You got the Denver Broncos will be at the Chargers. You got New Orleans will be at Seattle. The Cowboys are traveling to Chicago. Arizona is going to San Francisco. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing Sunday Night Football against the Giants. And the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football will be coming to Baltimore, Maryland to face my Baltimore Ravens. I don't know which one we're going to get that day. We might get the defense that shuts down an offense, or we might get a defense, or we'll get an offense that goes up 30 or 40 points, and then the defense will give up 30 or 40 points in the fourth quarter, and then we'll look up and Jared Goff is on a final drive to win the ball game, and they'll kick a field goal, and I'll be pissed off on Monday.
So you're saying don't lay the 4.5?
What'd you say?
Don't lay the 4.5?
Yeah, the Ravens is a headache, and it's like all the teams I'm affiliated with know how to bring you to the brink of stardom and push you off the ledge. It's like with Ole Miss over the years, they had always grabbed me and took me to the top of the stairs. And then right before I'm about to take the next step, they pushed me down. And I've had so many injuries from being an Ole Miss fan, and it's wearing me out.
Coach,
Before we get off
you
tonight,
still
Coach, before we get off tonight, I want to talk about the matches this week at WrestlePalooza. Now, I'm going to have to see the end. I'm going to have to see everybody's TikTok and all the bloggers. I am not finna buy another streaming service to look at wrestling. I had Peacock, and I thought we had a good thing going. I can watch the pay-per-views. I am not finna get ESPN Plus and look at this. I will wait for everybody else to tell me. But I do want to look at some storylines, and then I want to get your take on who you think is going to win, and we'll go from there. You got the Usos versus Divisions. That's Jimmy and Jay will be going against Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. I don't know where they're going with this Jay Uso thing. I'm lost, Coach. Are they trying to turn him heel, or what's the deal?
I kind of thought that at first, and then I kind of thought like he gonna walk out one day and be like, "Acknowledge me," so, like he's the OTC. I really don't know.
He's If you notice, he's breaking away from the fanfare stuff, and now he's more serious. His facial expressions is not happy anymore. I don't know what, and I give the writers credit. They do build stories. I just don't know where they're going with the story.
I don't either. And I feel like we've kind of just been here for a while. Like it's not moved to give you any type of feeling of where it could be going.
I don't even know what's the deal with. I thought they was doing a good job with Bron Breakker as an individual. I thought he was.
Yeah, what is he like? What is he doing? Like he's just let's go tag team this thing every Monday night.
When he had the Intercontinental title, he was. I loved it. I love the fact he still he paid homage to his father and his uncle, and he kept that 90s nostalgia and power and he's not bad on the mic. Now they're trying to make him, I don't get where they're going with this, and I'm not a WWE writer, so I just roll with it and just go with it. But I don't know where they're going with this. Who do you think is going to win this match?
I got a feeling it's going to be. I think if you wanted ultimate chaos, what if you had a Braun and Braun win because LA Knight came out and manipulated the match in favor?
I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen anyway.
That's kind of.
They've already been prepping for this.
Yeah,
I think they're going to do that anyway. They already been prepping for it. All right, the Women's World Championship, which was vacated by Naomi, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. I think this is Io Sky's moment. I think this is the route they're gonna go with.
I think so too. But I do think that like it would be super. Like they did a good job. So whoever wins this, I think it's super popular with the universe. I think they'll be good with whatever. But so I think it'll be a fun match.
All right, you got the WWE Championship match. Once again, you got Cody Rhodes not in the main event as a world champion. Make that make sense to me. If you're going to hold the most prestigious title in the WWE, then why are you not? This is the second or third time that he has not been in the main event.
Yeah.
So what's the use of having him a champion if you can't even main event him? Can you imagine Ric Flair back in the days being on the middle of the card as the WCW champion? Can you imagine Hulk Hogan as the champion? Did you ever see The Rock or Stone Cold as mid-card champions?
No.
And Drew McIntyre, where did this come from? Drew McIntyre in a title?
Well, I mean, that's my thing. Like, you're not giving him, like, to me, it's not a main event match either way. Like, you didn't build anything up. You could have done something. You just said, hey, this guy punted him in the head a month ago. Let's run it back now. He's out of nowhere. He makes an appearance on TV and is like, all right, you got a championship match.
This is worse than putting Goldberg in a championship match. Then you got the mixed title, CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I'm tired of the CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I'd had enough of it. I'm tired of it, man.
I'm
Go
with you.
ahead and finish this story so we can move on. Finish the story. And then the main event, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Uh, I, this I this is my response is how I see this pay per view. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at on that.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
with you.
my brother, man, we're gonna wrap it up tonight, man, and you need to get some rest, man, so you can recover and be ready for the next show. We'll get with you on the next show, and we just want to let all our listeners know that make sure you subscribe to the Coach and Coach podcast. Send us a message if you want to message us. You can message us at Coach and Coach podcast at gmail.com. You can also leave messages or comments on our podcast. Please do that. Let us know. We want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's the only way we're going to get better. We do appreciate you listening tonight. And Coach, get well, man. I can tell that you labored through the night, brother. A lot of people don't know that you left the ER and you came here.
Yeah, I was
So
like, show got to go on.
yeah. And I did, to my defense, I told him, man, we can postpone this thing. And he said, nope, let's go. Let's go. So
Much
you big ups to you, man. You get the Trojan Award tonight. And we will be back with you this weekend as we recap everything that went on the high school, college, and some of the professional levels. So from one coach to the next coach, we thank y'all. Until we see you again, keep on running the right plays and getting into the end zone. God bless y'all. Appreciate you.